Hey there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. It looks like it's going to be a partially sunny day out here in Atlanta, but I am looking forward to it nonetheless. I hope that each one of you is doing awesome on this Saturday morning. Welcome to whoever has joined. I see that some people have already started joining us. Say hello to me. Let me know that you are out there. Because sometimes people can't hear and see me. And so this is my way of you're like my mic check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know that you can hear me and tell me good morning this morning. This morning, I am going to be talking about a topic. When I tell you this one comes up time and time again in my group coaching and my one-on-one coaching, is the idea of procrastination and how procrastination gets in the way. Good morning, Emily. Thank you for joining and letting me know that you are here this morning. So this morning, I'm going to be talking about procrastination because so many women and men struggle with procrastination. And we don't want to do it. Of course, we keep saying we're going to stop doing it, but then we walk right back into the procrastination trap all over again. And we don't even understand. We're like, I was trying not to procrastinate. Why am I now procrastinating? Well, that is what we're going to be talking about today. And today, in this short video, I am going to share 5 tried and true ways that I use to help keep myself from procrastinating and ensure that I stay on track and live my life as purposefully as I have set out to. So stay until the end. I am actually going to share a tool that I use to help me not procrastinate, and I am going to give that tool away free to each one of you that wants it at the end of the show. So stay to the end because I'm going to share a tool with you on how you can stop procrastinating. So like I said in this video, we're going to talk about how to stop procrastinating. All right. And so I'm going to jump right to it. So listen, y'all. Where are my fellow procrastinators at? Do I have any fellow procrastinators out there watching with me that you struggle with procrastination? You're like, this time I'm going to do it differently, Naj. You're like, you tell yourself I'm going to do it differently this time, but then you don't. Where my procrastinators are, just let me know you out there so I know I'm not alone, right? Because I had to work through procrastination. It is something that I actively work at resolving and addressing. So if you're out there and you're a fellow procrastinator, let me know. So procrastination, how do we deal with it? 5 ways I'm going to give you real quickly on how you can avoid getting caught up in that procrastination trap, because it definitely feels like a trap that we keep walking into. The first thing, change your language. What do I mean by that? Y'all, we have made procrastination a super dirty word. I hear people all the time when I say, oh, why haven't you gotten this done? It's like, oh, I'm just because I'm lazy and I'm procrastinating. We have turned procrastination into a dirty word. And I just want to tell you that you are actually not even a procrastinator. I want you to change your language around that. You're not a procrastinator. You are a person that has a bad habit of procrastination. And see, so now that we've changed the language and we're clear about what we are addressing, we can now have a targeted approach to addressing it. But I want you to know that 95% of people struggle with procrastination. So you are not in some secret society, some special class all by yourself when you're struggling with procrastination. Because if you look to your right and you look to your left, likely those people are struggling with procrastination too. So I want you to first normalize and understand, change the language around how you're describing yourself so that you can remove the shame that often we carry around when we procrastinate. So first and foremost, change the language. Be gracious with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be kind with yourself, and understand that you're not lazy, that you're not in some special category by yourself. You're actually normal when you procrastinate. 95% of folks procrastinate. Number 2, many times when we say we don't want to procrastinate, then we start thinking about, okay, so how can I not procrastinate? That is actually the wrong approach, because the problem is actually not the procrastination. That's not the problem that we're addressing. We have to first clarify, What is your objection to the thing that you're putting off? Because, see, I tell people don't use the word I'm procrastinating. Instead, say, what am I avoiding? Right? Because procrastination is kind of like this big word. Oh, it's kind of okay. You can say, oh, I'm procrastinating. But when you actually say, hey, I'm not procrastinating, I'm actually avoiding. And then you clarify that objection to say, so what am I avoiding? And a lot of times you're like, I don't know what I'm avoiding, Nigel. How do I know what I'm avoiding? I'm going to tell you, if you complete these 3 sentences, it'll help give you some clues into what you are avoiding. Okay. So fill in this blank. I can't do X, whatever that thing is that you are avoiding right now, because. Why can't I do that thing right now? Complete that question. I don't want to do this thing, whatever that X is right now, because. Complete that sentence. Why don't you want to do it? And then third, I don't feel like doing that thing right now, because. Why don't you feel like doing it? Because we got to first clarify the reasons, the whys behind why you're procrastinating, because you want to address the whys. The whys are what are going to drive your whats. And so if you don't know why you're doing it, you're not going to be able to create some whats to prevent you from continuing to do it. So clarify the objections. Understand what your objections are. Third, you got to diagnose the right problem to implement the right remedy. If you go to the doctor and they diagnose your problem as like a liver problem when it's really a heart problem, let me just let you know, you're probably not going to get a solution to your problem, right? And so you got to first assess in order to address. That's what I tell my clients all the time. You got to first assess the problem so that you can go address it. So we clarified those objections, which is fine. But now we got to figure out, what are the most common reasons that people procrastinate, that people avoid doing that, right? Because the objections are the things that we actually need to go after and change. The most common reasons why people avoid whatever that thing is that they're avoiding is because they find it boring, they find it frustrating, they find it too difficult, they find it ambiguous, they're unclear about it, they find it unstructured, so then they feel overwhelmed by it. They don't really see any fun in it. They're like, oh, this is going to be a real pain. So they don't find it rewarding. It doesn't have any personal meaning to them. And they minimize the consequences of procrastination, right? Because we all know there are going to be consequences with procrastination. But a lot of times we just kind of be like, all right, that's going to be some time down in the future that I'll experience the consequences. So I'm just going to focus on where I am right now. So let me help you understand this. Your problem is not procrastination. Your problem is how your brain is dealing with procrastination. Your problem is not procrastination. Your problem is how your brain is dealing with procrastination. And the thing is that most of us have no idea how our brain actually works. The brain is designed to be a problem solver. Okay, so it basically all throughout the day, it is identifying problems for it to solve, right? Because when it solves those problems, it's like, bingo, reward. Look, I did the good thing. I found the solution. Well, the other thing that we don't recognize is that 90% of what we do every day is based on habits. And so, like I said in the beginning, procrastination is a habit. It is a habit. And so we have to address it like it's a habit. But if you don't understand how habits are even formed and how the brain deals with habits, you're not going to be able to address that habit. All right. So 90% of what we do is actually a habit. The brain is trying to solve a problem. And when it solves a problem, it wants to turn its solution into a habit. Why? Because when it turns its problem, that solution into a habit, that's less work for the brain to have to do. It's able to go into this sort of autopilot mode, which basically then it uses less energy throughout, to have to deal with that anymore. It's like, okay, if this happens, then this happens. And then a routine is created, a habit is created. And now the brain doesn't have to work to remember, oh, how do I solve this problem? Instead, it's saying, oh, I remember this problem. This is how we solve this problem. When I'm bored, I solve the problem by doing this. I try to resolve the boredom. The brain is looking at the objection and solving the objection. The brain says, oh, don't do this project. This project is going to be boring. Okay, so the solution is, what do I do to avoid a boring project. Or it looks at it and says, oh, this project is going to be frustrating. And so the brain says, well, what do I do when I'm in I have a frustrating situation going on? And then it comes up with a solution to that. Same thing with when it feels unstructured, when it feels ambiguous, the brain is solving a problem. And so when you go to your phone or whatever, that's how the brain has decided it wants to solve that problem of it being boring and being frustrating. It's decided social media is the answer to being bored. It's decided that checking those emails or checking your text messages is the answer to when you encounter a difficult situation or a difficult project that you're working on that you're avoiding. And so you got to understand how the brain works. And I'm going to actually get into a little bit more about how the brain works in very layman's terms and very quickly so that you understand and you are addressing the problem based on what the problem actually is, not this understanding about what you think it is, because the problem's not procrastination. It's how the brain deals with objections and hard things that it doesn't want to do. Number 4, like I said, understand how the brain works. There is this concept that is in play that I'm not sure if you've heard of, but it's called a habit loop. Okay, it's a habit loop. A loop. And 90% of what we do throughout the day is actually in this habit loop. And the way the habit loop works, and this concept was developed by Charles Duhigg. He wrote the book Power of Habit, which is an awesome book. But essentially, he created this idea of a habit loop. So what happens? The brain gets a cue. Hey, I have a huge project and it feels overwhelming. Okay. Then it comes up with a response. Okay. And that's basically the routine, and it goes into autopilot. I have this project. It's overwhelming. Now let me go into autopilot on a solution. When I have an overwhelming project, I avoid. I put it off. I delay it because I don't want to deal with an overwhelming project. And then what happens, the last part of that loop is that there's a reward. It's like, whew, girl, you procrastinated. Look, girl, you avoided that hard thing. You did it. That was a good solution. Yes. So the brain is basically coming up again with this loop that is telling it, hey, got the cue. All right, we're going to go into autopilot. Whew, crisis averted. We procrastinated. The thing is that habit loop is not working for you. That habit loop that the brain has come up with is not working for you. And so you've got to basically break up that autopilot. You got to basically say, nah, G, that pilot ain't working for me. That habit cue, that habit loop is not working for me. So how do you do that? You get the cue that this is a boring, overwhelming, frustrating project. And then you come up with a plan to deal and break up that cue. And I'm going to give you 3 ways that I break up that cue. Most common, these are my favorite 3 ways. There are plenty of ways to break up the cue, but I'm going to share with you my 3 most common ways that I break up that habit loop. First, I stack habits. What does that mean? I connect a habit that I know I'm going to do, that I have to do, that I like doing, that I do regularly with something I don't feel like doing. That's basically what stacking is. So I know I'm going to take a shower every day. I know I don't like working out. So what do I do every day? I connect working out with taking a shower. Before I can take a shower, I have to work out. Now I have stacked my habit in my favor. My brain is now creating a new habit loop, and that habit loop is now serving me because now I'm going to get my workout in. I may be stinky when I do it, but whatever, I'm by myself, it's cool. But I have now created a stacked habit that is now going to help me break up that bad habit that I have of not working out. Because the bad habit was I ain't getting up, I ain't working out, right? I had some objections to working out. I'm too tired, I don't have enough time. I had a whole bunch of objections. So then when I create a stacking habit, I am now addressing the objective. See, this is why I'm telling you, your enemy is not procrastination. Your enemy is the objections of procrastination. So we deal with objections. We deal with the real problem. We don't deal with what we think is a problem. All right, then I create the other way that I help to address and break up that autopilot is that I have rewards. What kind of rewards? I will give myself reward of a snack. If I do what I'm supposed to do, then I will give myself a snack. I will give myself a break. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be money, but it could be I give myself an opportunity to call my best friend and yap it up. I connect again rewards to the behavior that I want. We get over that objection. You say, what do I want to do? The brain loves rewards. Like I told you, the third step in that habit loop, and for those of you who join later, go back and listen to the replay. Let me know you're watching the replay, because I talked about that habit loop. And the last stage of the habit loop is the reward. And so you want to make sure that you integrate a reward into how you stop procrastinating. Now, this last one that I came up with, it's my, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I will tell you that it's actually one of the most effective. And I call it my 10 by 5 strategy. 10 by 5 strategy. How does the 10 by 5 strategy works? All right, I got a project. I got this thing I don't want to do. I'm avoiding it. Why don't I want to do it? Because I'm frustrated. It's overwhelming. It's boring. I got more exciting things to do. So what do? I employ my 10 by 5 strategy. I take that project and I break it down into no less than 10 independent steps. So let's just say my project is I got to write a proposal. I take that proposal, I break it down to a minimum of 10 steps. Now, what's the 5 part? Then I take each one of those 10 steps and I break each one of those 10 steps into 5 steps. So all in, you got the 10 high level steps, and then you got 5 smaller steps for each one of those 10 steps. Okay. And what you're doing here is you're breaking that project down in a way that you can create what is called a momentum wave. What's a momentum wave? You break it down to steps, mix it up between the easy parts and the harder parts, the parts you're looking forward to and the parts you're not looking forward to. Because then what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to get some success, and success begets success. Momentum begets momentum. Start with the smaller, easier ones. If you're really, really struggling with this project, start with the easier ones, get the easier ones done, do a hard one, then go back and do a couple more easy ones. Mix it up and create a momentum wave, right? It's like it reaches its peak, then you come back down, mix up the easy and the bad, the easy and the not so easy. And then put that on your calendar. Listen, anybody who works with me knows we're going to be talking about time blocking. If you have some negative habits that you're working on, we're going to be time blocking. Do y'all know how to time block? This little tool I created here, my purposeful prioritizer, shameless plug. If you don't have it, let me know, and you want to learn more about it, put that in the comments so I can let you know. But in that, we have a time blocking section. And so in the time block, you're going to put each one of those little steps, one of those 5 in your time blocking section. And that's going to help keep you in line with what you want to do. All right. So those are my favorites in terms of how I go about getting a handle on procrastination and not let it control what I want to do. Now, number 5, which is the last thing that I have here and how I stay out of the procrastination trap. I schedule my distractions. What does that mean? So a lot of times what happens, we got this project we need to do, and then, you at that point, you need to check email, you need to check text messages, you need to see what's going on in Facebook world, Instagram world. You might even get a new Twitter account, because all of a sudden it's like, hey, I got something I got to do, I don't want to do. And so you have all these other new things you need to do. Your favorite TV show is on. What's your favorite excuse? Put that in the comments. What's your favorite excuse that you come up with when you have something you got to do, but you don't feel like doing? Your favorite excuse. All right, schedule it. I don't say don't do it at all. I'm just saying when you time block, again, if you don't know what time blocking is, let me know, and I will be happy to share some resources with you on how to time block. But if you put on your time block your distractions. And then that way you're not depriving yourself of your distractions, but you're setting your day up so that your distractions are in a nice, neat little box. I'm going to be in distraction world between 7 and 8, but between 5 and 6, I am working on the project that I broke up in my 10 by 5 strategy. If you didn't hear what the 10 by 5 strategy is, go back and listen to the replay. But once you do your 10 by 5 strategy, now you can start taking the pieces from that 10 by 5 strategy and putting that in your time block. So you schedule your distractions and you schedule everything that you have in your 10 by 5 strategy. All right. And so that's really it, y'all. Those are the 5 ways that I help get from getting caught in the procrastination trap. Now, listen, this is a practice, as I explained to you a little bit earlier about the brain. You want to basically create a new habit of not procrastinating because the brain has already established a habit loop that is deeply ingrained on how to procrastinate. So you are now trying to create a new habit loop based on the techniques that I shared with you so that you can basically get out of the trap of procrastination. All right. So if you didn't hear this from the beginning, I laid out 5 different ways that you can get out of the procrastination trap. If you didn't hear them, go back to the beginning. If you got anything out of this, if you found any of this helpful, I ask that you do one of 3 things: like, comment, share, like, comment, share. This is often a topic that many women struggle with, which is procrastination. And it is something that actually we found out today 95% of people struggle with. And so help a friend out. Sharing is caring. I would appreciate that so much. And like I told you, I am going to give away a free tool. If you are struggling with procrastination or you know somebody who is struggling with procrastination, just type in the comments me, send it to me, and I am going to send you a resource that I use to help me create new habit loops and essentially get out of the procrastination trap. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing, amazing Saturday, amazing weekend, but I really want you to have an amazing, purposeful life. And getting procrastination out of the way is one of those ways that you can live more purposefully. And I want to help you do that. So please put in the comments, let me know you need some help with that, and I will be happy to send you over a free resource to help you get out of the procrastination trap. Y'all have a great Saturday. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, like, comment, share. All right, take care.